Quiet. Come for the midnight team, the midnight owls. Where are you? Easy now. Good morning. Good morrow. What have we got in the house? How are we? We're having an open chat. Talk to me, tube. Crimbo limbo. Dying to live. What are you saying? I'd come and say hello before bed. Touch base. Get some feedback. Talk to me. In the immortal words of Terry Tibbs, talk to me. You all good? You ready for 2019? Can you dance to my beat? We've stopped submitting and losing our shit. We've started reserving the rights and winning the fight. How are we? Talk to me, guys. Brothers, sisters, family. Getting quite a lot of emails. Thank you for the contact. I think I've responded to them all now. I'm up to date. Yes, up to date with the emails. Been on the .com, been uploading, been putting some key posts on for more competence training. Been on doing a few hangouts. Gillian of the Horsley clan, tribe, family, consciousness. Hello. Dave, easy, nice name. Big changes next year. Exciting times. Exciting times. Yeah, we're up in the tempo. We're remixing. We've got a new vocabulary, a new language, a new status, a new standing, new capacity, new tools, new technology, new options. Got a knock 3 times on that door. Dying to live. That's what man's doing at the minute. We're sick of seeing that. You're sick of seeing it. You're sick of being it like we are. Yes. The winter of discontent is what I've labelled it. The fact that discontent has the word tent in it, and I've never seen so many tents in my life. Got a lot to do, a lot of work, there's a lot of focus, a lot of direction. Thank you, YouTube. I've never learned so much in all my life. Wow. The presentation, the quality, the skill, the aptitude, the dedication, the humbleness of it. The United Kingdom government should be feeling shame. YouTube, the fact we have to research, you know, is because we want to learn, and we question authority, and we're probably on our arses, to be fair, and we want an alternative. And when we go out there and have a look, history, his story, complete lie, an absolute mockery. What you can find out about history alone is quite shocking. The temples of power, the Berlin Zoo, who would have thought it? The Berlin Zoo. Trattoria, is that what I was reading about after the temples of Thoth that I haven't brought out to you yet? Seems that YouTube is already on it. There's a video called the Ether of Trattoria, and be wary. It's Max Egan's done a video about it. It's been taken out of context, but history, power, Here, we'll fancy having a smart meter, dear. Smart meter for what? For power, for energy. When we could have had Nikola Tesla, free energy. This government, this world government, yeah, it should be ashamed of what's happened here and the, you know, the levels of what we're at, what we're finding out. Debt slaves. Debt slaves comes from a certain tradition and cult, as we found out. Been that track back. Debt slaves, you know. How did we get this way? You pay to live on a world that's abundant via licenses. So yeah, we've got a lot to do in 2019. There's a lot more cognizance happening. There's a lot more standing up for thyself happening, knowing thyself. The level is very good. But you see, we very rarely make claim because when you make claim, you get held accountable and liable. We will tell you in a certain fashion and bring to you in an education format and ask you to go and check that out. Use your own due diligence. I get years, dates, times, numbers, 3-letter abbreviations mixed up regular. So I've taken the ability to take MP3s and music and vinyl tracks and mixes and DJs and speeds of tracks and years and genres and everything really, and you transfer your skills. It takes a bit of time, but nobody's perfect. No one's 100%, no matter what you might think. Angela, hello sister, evening. I have requested the document that my mum and dad signed when they registered me. I wonder if they can prove there ever was a true contract, David. No, there wasn't a contract. It's based on an agreement and on a trust, Gillian. So yeah, you're right. Will never prove there was a contract because the contract is not a contract. Contract law is not actually truly contract in the legal realm, because the legal realm doesn't deal with personam, and personam is where the contract realm live. The meeting of minds, the thumbprints, the autographs, two men drawing up a contract together. That they mutually agree upon, drawing up that body of words on that paper and thus signing it and generating two copies and going, bosh, contract. That's how we would see one. So when you go on the telephone or you verbally interact and it's deemed that you've created a verbal or an implied contract or a tacit or, you know, all these other ways that they do it, yeah, it is an agreement which is legal, which isn't, you know, the realm of the law. So it's the realm that we're wary of and that we go fishing in with our person and our instrumentation, and be wary of that umbilical cord with the public liability and the submitting of and the rendering to fines, fees, forfeitures, and so forth. So they aren't what they purport to be. Legal, the contract sort of things there with what you've said with the document. It's an agreement that they hand over. Informants, they are the informants to the state, that there is a issue, property, and it's not disclosed, so therefore the claim of right is handed over, and the credit, I'm not sure about this. I need to do more digging and look at more YouTube channels and see what documents everybody else says that they get. But I don't know how Romley got that one. We'll do further investigation on it. But the fact remains that there is a creditor and there is a debtor, there is a registration and so forth and so on. We have got, you know, way beyond that. That's beyond doubt. And, you know, we know what humans are, and mans and persons and monsters and masks and personams. And, you know, we've gone way beyond that. That's 101. But compelling and using the generals of the army in the capacity of, and the officers, is where the secret would lie. So within that, I mean that for certificates and bondage and this kind of carry on, you have ministerial government departments and non-ministerial government departments, and minister, okay, minister is a form of the government, and we're talking ministerial now, so that is minister. mini star, and there is a prime mini star, and these are the ordinance, governance, and or associated jurisdictions of which the alleged or inherent power comes down. And these mini stars and generals and secretaries are in the layered system of the control. So it would be, I would say, within the Attorney General, Registrar General would be the one that I would go looking at as well. The local offices aren't going to have a credit certificate of credit. The bondsman is performing an entry in a book, and he may or may not create an alternative certificate. Very interesting, but the technology and the language is key there. So when we was going into the court saying with mixed jurisdiction paperwork and saying certain things, we was getting not heard, and we was rendering a summary judgment to be made, because as I've said and I've posted previous, I'm not going to read it all out now, but summary judgments are written into the CPR and how they are governed, and why the CPR tells the judiciary to do that in the failure to have clarification on claims, whether or not to strike out claims made, whether or not they're admissible, and how a summary judgment is in fact made by the failure for representation to be correctly or clearly made. So the pre-action protocols and the protocols and the assumptions and presumptions with the failure to represent correctly make sure that the house wins 9 times out of 10, Dan. So if you forgive us for often me bamboozling you at 100 miles an hour with random bits of legal versus lawful, with admiralty, ecclesiastical, I realise you don't all have the same train of thought as I, and when I think it is a clear image that is coming out, it often is not. So I've developed that now to somewhat, and we're putting that into the .com and the further educational video releases from SPL's Pro and Patreon. So we'll take requests and topics and requirements from you and what you want to see, as well as pioneering, the world's new leading sovereign platform in the form of splspro.com, and the work that goes on and the education that goes on there. No representation is going on there. No services are offered or are going to be offered. And it is not an agency of any kind at all. It is an actual trust set up, and that is deemed by how the property of the trust and the assets and so forth are managed, and acquisition and investment and management going forth is deemed by whom has access, title, control, authority, deeds, requirements, direction, trustee, and so forth. So that's been quite a ride, let me tell you, because out there not everybody says the truth, and some people don't mean to say the non-truths, but they just believe stuff without checking it out. And then if you hear something that isn't 100%, and then you go and promote it, and then you find out later it's not actually accurate, then it's fall on you for saying stuff that you haven't checked out. But if you make a mistake and you get something mixed up, then that's fine. That's what stops others from coming out and saying things for the shills and the trolls and the haters and the ones that have got agendas of their own. And we mix that up. History, these power stations, the semantics, the actual environment that we're learning about has been hidden from us, and we've been led to think it's one way when it's nothing but a million other ways. So I had it put to me by Sun and Moon Lady, Sister Karen. Yeah, Mandela effect is a direct effect of us lot, a consciousness shifting. We had quite a nice chat. That was all right, that, Karen. I'll keep it private, but this Sunday on Sun and Moon, how to deal with agents, bailiffs, officers when Big Barry comes and you hear that knock. What a tune. 10 Wolves Walking with Elephants, for those that know the deep house scene back in the day. Makes me think of Ong Bak and Tony Jaa, Warrior King, fighting in Bangkok, Thailand jungles. The mind of a DJ. If you've ever wanted to DJ and you find it confusing to keep control of the music, I did too. Side note, this is how I learned to DJ, to count the beats. You go, boots, cats, chicken tikka, boots, cats, chicken tikka, boots, cats, chicken tikka. But remember, I didn't learn to DJ on Deep House. I learned to DJ. I say that. I scrambled some decks together and tried to attempt to DJ in the early days using 128 beats per minute, acid house, rave, and dance 90 early's dance music. So there was a lot of noise in that. It wasn't as slow and as methodical and yeah, maybe harmonious as that. So beats, music, vibration, consciousness, lifting up, joining together. You know, we all have got a universal connection to each other. We all are a family, even though I'm a weirdo and you guys have got your own weird little habits and quirks, and you know, regardless, none of us are perfect. We might be created in the image of, but none of us are cast out of a perfect, you know, mold as such. And you know, everybody is another, and it's just that, you know, we can't all live the same experience. So yeah, energy transformation, we've discovered a lot. It really is you know, tremendous, and it goes past law. This is Alan Watts, and you know, such people as you know, everybody that's talked that we've mentioned up until this year, what we've done, the videos that I've shown you on that other hangout previous to this one. It's been a right old journey. Thank you very much. When we see great many fragmented important bits of information spread across thousands of years, we all needed to pull together. We all still need to. We are doing an excellent job. SPL's Pro hasn't got the answer to all the world's problems. No, it hasn't. I don't claim that at all. SPL's Pro isn't got the answer to everyone's problem. No, but most of the answer to everyone's problem is the fact that nobody knows that they're viewed in a legal realm as a dead entity, and they're assuming and putting on a dead person's mask every day. What we can do is teach you how not to put on that dead person's mask and to stand there like the Ready Brek man. I don't know why, but you know, glowing and strong and made of Ready Brek, really, but you know, oaty and wholesome, natural, glowing. And then you can choose if you want to put on the mask and take on the dead persona and go out into the world and get on the stage. When you don't know you're getting on the stage, that's a massive problem. The lambs are the light. We are the lambs, and the lambs are the lamps, and the lambs and the lamps are connected, and the lambs, the lights, yeah, the etymology, the music, the transformation, it's universal. Some of it, the mathematics, the vortex, the codes, the applied principles, the black monolith, Saturn, the connections there, the gematria, the ancient alien stories. Can't be asked with you, Gaia. I've never paid for, you know, Netflix or anything. I've never paid for Sky. I've never gone to the, well, I have when I was younger and stupid, but since I've woken up, I've worked out there's a different network out there that we should be using, and it doesn't involve being programmed. I just want to say thank you to all of the YouTube channels, subscribers, viewers, sharers, those that have joined the .com, those that have shared the work, those that believe, those that have that feeling inside, that want to be that Ready Brek man, that know that something's wrong, know that you shouldn't have to pay for, you know, water to drink. You shouldn't have to pay to be looked after. If you're a good person, that's actually a man, a brother, a sister, a sentient tribunal of the, you know, the creator, the kundalini, the essence that's within, and you get viewed as some kind of you know, retarded, freeloading, you know, this is when you go to the state for help, yeah, and you go and sign, you notice they don't treat you very nice, they don't treat you very well. Yes, no one's got a care, no one's got a heart, no one's got a soul. You process like a number, like a unit, like you're in commerce. And this unified commercial codes that the court systems use, the judges are aware of the unified commercial code and they know exactly how it works, but you don't, and they're not there to teach you how it works. So well, somebody at some point has to step in and say, yo, Nobody looked outside the window. This is all wrong. This is all dangerous. This is all probably going to work, cost you some money, take a bit of time, whatever. And then we have to come and have a chat. But, you know, there's only so much we can chat to you about and let you know before we actually get taken out, lest we not forget, you know, such men like, we are against secret organizations and those amongst us that, you know, President Kennedy and the farce that happened with that, Martin Luther King. You know, I long to meet a white man that knows who the Marcus Garvey is. Do you know what I mean? When you do your research and you find stuff out and you're like, whoa, Marcus Garvey was 10 men. But nobody knows who Marcus Garvey is. I'm not insulting you. You lot probably do. But I've mentioned him more than on a few occasions, you know. Revolution, evolution is a good thing. But the way that it's been done in the past with history has led to only an opposing force coming back to take control. So, you know, since the hippies sat down in the 60s, you know, what's ensued to man has been a million times worse than what was there before the hippies sat down. So since the hippies have sat down, we've kind of lost all of the, you know, the solidarity. I'll say the collapse of unions. All right, who's in a union these days? Who knows of anyone in a union? Who knows how to get independent advice anymore? Who knows that if you speak out and go against the grain, you're probably a marked card in the business game, in warehousing, in management. And if you're working in an office, you've got office politics, you know, and it's not your company, but you're making profits for, you know, at the expense of the environment, and it's just all wrong, you know, this upside down world. Totally wrong. We're going through Christmas, goodwill to all men, to all men. So the people, you know, that's not you. You're not people. United Kingdom, Great Britain, the Queen in a 10-minute speech, not encompassing anything to do with any of the harrowing effects. You know, sat there in a palatial room talking about austerity, Grenfell, not a whisper, Brexit, backstop, all of the fuss, Theresa May, the disbanding of the Conservative Party, all of the politicians, you know, the House Speaker, what's gone on there, the Labour Party, sex claims. There's just too much to mention that she didn't mention, you know. So you're on your own. You're all on your own. We're on our own. And it's been fun. We're moving to the next stage, all right? We are indeed. We definitely are. And you guys are. The knowledge that's out there now, it's just like, wow. Truly encompassing, all encompassing. Easy, Angela. I've requested. I've got that. Thank you. Midnight Gardener. Aye, aye. MG, as we say. Sorry, yeah. MG. Yes, we're all doing great, Angela. Thank you, sister. Quantum physics. It's amazing. Quantum side of life, yeah. Most people will put down their born date on documents and not their registered date. Will this render all of the contracts void? Most people will put down the person's born date rather than the date of registration. The date of registration is just a date of registration, isn't it? We know that what the date you know, is applicable to, but it doesn't. The fact that you've signed, it doesn't matter that there's a date there. Yeah, there's a date of birth, a national insurance, a surname, a given name, but the annexure of it and the consent on that form, regardless of the date of birth or the date of registration given on just a general form for an agreement, means that once that signature is applied without any liability, status correction, anything, and you've signed on it and you've engaged, game on. So the date might matter in some particular rare instances, but generally it doesn't render any of the contracts void. And you need to know what a contract is again before you do that, because that would be you signing a document that someone's already given and prepared is a constructed agreement, because it's not two men in the contract. So this agreement and construct comes from the realm of trust and equity. And if it comes from trust and equity, then you have public side of trusts, and they are the public statutory constructed ones, and that's where you need to start looking. So you need to get your head around this first before you get your head around that other bit. I haven't seen Andy for a while. Hope he's okay. Yes, he is, sister. He's taking a break. He's well. Yeah, he's got some personal things to sort out, but haven't we all? All is good. Yes. Thank you for the concern and the care. I'm sure he'll watch this and see it at some point, or I'll be telling him. Don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. So just a mixtape I did on one of my last mixes in Zante. Sometimes I just like to remember where I was and what I was doing, because even I'm confused. And I have to ask for help, guidance, strength. So now then, what's going on here, pal? I don't know what's happening here. We're supposed to be actually really doing this. It's no, time to stop. Should we be giving up? And more stuff comes out and we think, no, we've got to carry on. Yes, Nonna, easy Nonna. I fell asleep earlier. I had a family chat. I had something to eat. We'll chat tomorrow, my sister. Hopefully, if you're free. One Conscience, hello there. First time in chat, good stuff. Tony, what's that then? That's so. Tony, I can't say that. Oh, your name, mate. Oh, Rani. Easy. Thank you very much, brother. Did you watch that D Murphy video? No. Dave Murphy, is that? Imminent agreement, a mistake on my half. It's all right, don't worry, Julian. We're all allowed to make mistakes, you know. That's all right. Even in law, even in the legal realm, you can rescind something. You can, you know, go, actually, do you know what? I didn't mean that. Give me that back. You know, strike that out. I retract that statement. I amend that. Anybody gives you an agreement, anyone gives you an agreement and you don't agree with it, get your red pen out and circle around it, put a little star there, get an arrow and put down there and put what you want to do, and then negotiate the terms of that agreement. But so much in a commercial realm, when you're going for a store card from whatever it is, store, you know, conglomerate, international, corporate, us, then they don't so much like you to bargain with them. But there are certain areas, if you was in a proper honourable realm, where you could do that kind of amendment, correction, highlighting, pointing out, and going bitting and batting. You know, it's like when anybody offers you a remedy compensation, they go, I give you an offer, and generally you reject the first offer, and the game is, you know, they get the second offer, and the second offer is a bit more modest, and then, you know, maybe there's a third offer, it will be a bit better, or maybe they'll just hardball you. So again, there's a silence in the court. You know, there are these things out there in the realm that we need to familiarize ourselves with and work out the processes and the functionality for. But it's all good. Agreements, yeah, contracts, the way that we see it. This is key. This is free stuff that everybody needs to know to keep their asses out of prison, jail, detention, fines, fees, and forfeits. And anybody says, you know, well, we've got a contract. No, you haven't got a contract. Not at all. Not by a long shot. Very, 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 very few people have got a contract. What they have got are agreements, and agreements, albeit them be a little bit deceptive and public and constructed and unconscionable, and we'll take the monetary mechanics and the fraud and all of this, sweat equity nastiness to one side, but this agreement contract business is quite a head mess initially, and once you get your head around the positions in that agency relationship, and you go into the trust round and you find out about the Bailey-Baylor, you know, and the realms of which you can be and what the property is and what is classed as assets and property and such things as, then yeah, it gets very interesting, and a whole new world does open up to you. And that's when I thought, hey, this is the way forward. You know, it makes sense, it's logical, but it doesn't mean it's just right and proper. It just means that we've actually found out the true way, yeah. Oh, I like this one. This is an old one. Happy Xmas and Merry New Year to all. Snafu, thank you for the incentive. Right back at you. I did. Tony or Oni. Tony or Oni. There we go. Is that right? Oh, wow. No, we're free spirits, love. Free spirits. It's hard to stick to timetables, agreements, punctuality, indigo children, rainbows, crystals. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this takes me back. Candy on the Dance Floor, I believe this is called, if my serves me right. Candy on the Dance Floor. I tried to DJ the nice sounds. It wasn't all, you know, as nasty as it was. Tried to put a smile on man's face and make him have a memorable night. It's all right, that was a good night, you know. Nothing worse than going on holiday and that DJ playing songs for 2 minutes maximum. Just when you're getting into them, they change them and then they repeat them after a half an hour. And you're like, what? It ruins it. If you're a DJ and you go out anywhere, you just can't go out anywhere because you're always like, if you're like me, you're just like, judging, listening. You shouldn't. No man has the right to judge. No. Comparing, analysing. Why do we do that? Silent watchers, those that walk out in the realm and look down at the floor. I feel like stopping them and going, hey up, look up. It's dangerous to, anyone can do out to you looking down like that. I know why you're looking down, but don't be shy. Look up, you know. Chin up, stiff up a lip, what, you know, proud. The soul. To give a little love. God damn. Little love in the advent of Christmas. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that's going good. I'll let it play for a minute. Let me read your comments. Unfettered minds coming. Jam fingers, one love. Niceness, brother. Respect to you and the good works. Anyway, come on. Niceness, yes. Niceness indeed. Peace and love, my man. Unfettered mind has come in. Marcus Garvey, the first Negro in modern times to launch a ship called the Black Star. If I remember rightly, it was sabotage. That's not bad. That's not bad. But he amassed quite a lot of free thinkers at the time, and he led them, and he had quite a little revolution go off. Did that man right before texting, before the internet, before Facebook, before the YouTube, before so many things? That man, he's been mentioned by a few hard talk leaders from the realm of which I immerse in for my research when I go Afro-Caribbean, Zionist, Judea, Rasta versus Christian hard talk that I put on that other hangout where I showed you, where I watched the African talk to the Rasta, and this is the Rastafari, Jara Babylon, and this is the one that's the Christian and upbringing, and Jehovah, and the three, and they come together, and it's incredible. It really is. So thank you, Marcus Garvey. Was a free thinker. I do believe that Malcolm X will have mentioned him. Nelson Mandela is an inspiration to most of the free Illuminati rap guys that I listen to on YouTube that I've mentioned, and they'll mention Marcus Garvey, and it's just truly incredible what history hides from us. These aren't allowed to be promoted or get out there because it would inspire others and show you the power, but it's along the right lines. AC/DC on, all right, Snafu, I get that vibe then. Motor. I can't think of any funky little things to put in. Run DMC versus who was that? Now that'd probably insult you. I did grow up with what my mum was into, metal, yeah, Black Sabbath. The can't say the Police was metal, can I? Message in a Bottle, but Bat Out of Hell, Meatloaf, all the commercial stuff, programming. The Doors, I remember them, not much metal there, but they were still funky, weren't they? The Who, Message in a Bottle. Have you heard of 65 Days of Static at Indigo, wicked chef band? No, I haven't, but I will look at them after. Big love. I was just an entertainer. I was materialistic. I was going out chasing the dream, I wanted to be the next David Guetta, the next Italian Swedish house mafioso. You know, we had a little network of lads and of family and guys with hotels, clubs and boats and that. And we was like a family, extended family. It was absolutely mint. Sometimes you go from island to island and you'd be all right. You'd be like, easy, how you doing? John sent me down from, you know, and just nobody knew anybody. But if you said you got sent by a certain somebody, it was just all respect given and everybody believed. Again, the trust was unbelievable. You got keys to a club. Only been on the island 5 hours. No one's about. Got on my scooter, went down the road, opened up the club. What? All right, it's a bit warm in here. I died straight away. I was like, greenhouse, 40 degrees, Zante, top deck. Didn't think, went in. Let that air out a bit, wired it all up, did a little sound check, got my stuff, went back, give the kid, he weren't even nightclub owner, you know, the keys back, says we're all right, we're on for tonight, bosh. That's how it goes. And life is amazing, you know, the journeys we go on. And I don't know why the consciousness, there's a plan, right? These plans and coincidences aren't coincidences. This is what's amazed us. When things just drop in your lap, when things just happen, when you think you get lucky, is it luck? Is it some intervention? Is it divine divinity? Is it programming? Is it the singularity matrix? Is it the atoms and the connectivity with the ether and the esoteric type, you know, spiritualness that we've got? Is it us manifesting it with the brain? Is got a left and a right and a left, and in the middle it has the joining, the bits that join up, the cortexes, and that's where the pineal sits. And the pineal is the only part of the brain to share both hemispheres and not be reflected over in the other hemisphere. So the pineal and the connection of that. It's very interesting learning about this stuff, and you know, who and what we are and how we work and how things work and the realm and the potentiality. Michael Tellinger, you know, Billy Carson. I didn't mention those guys on that hangout the other night. Not just the law speakers that we look at and the science and that, you know, Nikola Tesla is still a legend, and he's coming out in many ways with the vortex. Lifting the Veil has brought vortex maths into etymology, into astrotheology, into that channel is amazing. I need to seriously get my arse in gear and creep round that man severely. I know I don't need to creep round him, but he gets millions of views. He's been out there years. He's younger than me. He's already way above my level. I will bow down to him. Lifting the Veil, if ever you see this video, are my days. I'm 40 and I've been doing this in overall 15 years. And the stuff that he's coming out with in the complexity, my favourite so far, he said quite a few little gimmicks that I want to repeat and that, but I don't want to rip him off, but to pay homage to him. The phony Phoenix, the phony Phoenicians of the Phoenix. And yeah, he's just, I don't know if he's an actor or if he's programmed or put here to do this and then deliberately mislead in the important parts. I'm still working that out, but for the time being, Lifting the Veil, I know some of you already know about him, but those that don't, he's like the next level. He's very advanced, very, very advanced. I'm not saying he's bang on with everything, but privilege and an honor. And he helps us. We help others. You know, it's not often you get to learn from the TV, from Netflix, from, you know, your Amazons or your media sticks or whatever it is, Mobdros, Showboxes. There's a reason why we have these apps out there that are free, and these torrent sites and these distraction sites, and all of the SNESes, GameCubes and Capcoms and Konomis and Ataris and, you know, these things out there to distract man. But you know, YouTube, handsets, we're not supposed to be doing this, we're not supposed to think like this, and we'll get told off for it of being a very naughty boy once again. And you're going to be, you know, have your privileges revoked, you naughty citizen and employee. Bit like China, where you've got a little graphics display now, haven't you? A little online digital profile. What happens there is, if you're naughty or you do stuff like this, you get a point system, and then suddenly you can't go and book a plane ticket because your points aren't sufficient because you went on YouTube and spoke naughty. Not just the yellow vests in France that are disgruntled with what's happening and how they're being treated, and the taxes and the unfair system of the management of man and the effectively the public. And yeah, we've got the guys in Hungary with the slave law that they introduced just before Christmas. The slave law, for those of you that missed it, is a compulsory 400 hours of overtime to be worked, which means every man, woman that's eligible in servitude right now, voluntary servitude, when they submitted their rights to go into it, when they begged for it, yeah, have now got to do an extra day, which means everyone's working Saturday. And when you get paid for it is in 3 years. So the overtime is paid now in Magyar, Hungary, after 3 years, which is 36 months. Now, do you really think they're going to pay out that money? It's like our pensions over here. We've got no pensions to come, no benefits, no nothing. You don't even know how bleak I think it's going to be. So that's that. And then whilst they was doing that, they also moved the judicial tierage system and how that works. Whilst they was bonding the good people, you know, the citizens and employees of Hungary, they messed them around on the judicial front as well. And this is all a parliamentary intervention by President Victor. You've got President Macron, and you've got Prime Minister Theresa May. May comes from where? Star sign zodiac, Taurus, as well I'd say. Taurus, bull, son of May, Mason. May, name, bull. Very important. The names of these as well. Very important. What we're saying over here. Let's have some chat. It's just an open chat. Feel free to hit me up with anything. Is this going to be just a lecture? Let me join. Force. All right there. I've not seen you before. Nice to meet you. Good morning, good morrow, salutations. Blue Man crew, you know what to do if things get a bit warm. I don't need to tell you. That's why you're blue. Martin Kenny is blowing your mind with his latest stuff. Is he the man that was on Sun and Moon with the guy called Josh that I started having a chat with and then had to drop out of because we got the family news of the death light? So yeah, but if that's that, then I can imagine. Then yeah, you're pontificating, dude. What does pontificating mean, please, Force? It's luck and using your luck. Coincidence. Well, I argue that there's only a certain amount of luck and coincidence. So I fell off a cliff in Devon when I was 9, and I only broke both my arms. I bounced off the pebbles beneath me, and I fell a big way. I can't tell you the exact point, but it was by Sandy Cove and Beachy something, Exeter, Falmouth, down that way. Next thing is that I fell down a well several years later when I was at Ashlawn School in Rugby at Lillishall Residential Centre. There was a boy jumping up and down on a well, and he was making a real like monkey noise and everything. And for some reason, I thought, no, lad, let me have a go at this. I'll show you how to bash through the well. And I got up there, and I did it. And the first one I did, I went straight through. I bashed the cover off the well off, and I fell down the well. No, this isn't embarrassing. This is just being a teenager and exploring and rebellious and, you know, hyperactive indie ADHD boy. I fell down a well, and that was quite scary. I thought I was a goner, to be fair, like when I fell down the cliff. And yeah, survived that. And I've rolled a car. I've been involved in car crashes. I've been in places where I shouldn't have been and shouldn't have been able to walk out of, and I have done. So there's an element of not luck there, But I don't know. I've even been places in warehouses, right? I've walked under a walkway and a pallet fell behind me, right behind, 2 seconds away from where I was. And after a bit, you suddenly start to think, you know what? I've nearly died now 15 times. Now, I'm not saying I'm invincible, lad, but coincidence. You've said, you know, and once you believe and you trust in the force, in the ether, in the consciousness, in the something that there is connecting us all, like there is all on a subatomic, you know, level with the connection of energy. So not just the plasma and the magnetic fields. When you look at the functionality of our actual structure of our environment that's been, you know, arrested and hidden from us. But each to their own. Each to their own. Moving into your truck after Christmas, yes, Snafu. I hope you've done it out and kitted it well and get it warm, got some heating, some energy, some solar panels, a nice inverter. Is it a stealth one? Get in. Man after my own heart. Garvey's camp got infiltrated and the ship's corrupted. Yeah, what did he do though? He started a revolution though. He was one man and he started a revolution. How many men, if you research Marcus Garvey and look at Marcus Garvey, one man revolution, and how many he amassed and so forth and so on, you will find out. But history is his story, as we've said, and the winners of history. Look at the British, right? If you go through British history right now, subscribers and new viewers and everybody, and you look at the British history, they won't have look at that. I said, Bob, shame on me, 1,000 apologies. The United Kingdom and the Lords and the Elites, the ites of Els, they won't have put any nastiness about what they've done. They'll have blamed it on everybody else. So, you know, and said we were forced to do that. And, you know, the Inquisitions and the Armadas and the Commonwealth and the invasion and the liberation of was all in the name, you know, of all that is good and in the holy name of the Lord and God. And wow, yes, you know how it goes. So, everybody who started a war, incidentally, has also believed in that book, the Bible. Do you believe something just because they say something is true? No, we use our due diligence and research, and you will see by the 300 videos that have been done and the topics mentioned and raised and the testimonials that we're getting, that we actually go out there and we do it, we practice it, and yeah, we envisage it, we live and breathe it. Nonna, you can back up there, and I don't know if there's any others that we've had interaction and, you know, knowledge with, but when somebody tells you something, we may give it some kind of acknowledgement, but we won't necessarily believe it. Well, you know, only a fool would do that. You know, only fools rush in. Who wants to be a busy idiot? You know, a busy fool. No, man, you're not going to win anything just by taking something, are you? And the Marcus Garvey Library is just round the corner from me. Unfettered mind. Get the feck out of here. All right then. I read about the great man some years ago. There you go. It's all lies they tell you. Go start digging down the rabbit hole. Yeah, it is. Yeah, a lot of it is deception and lies. Yeah, indeed. You don't believe what I say. You go and research yourselves. That's the whole point of this realm. That's how you go on a journey, and you be lie Eve. Be like Eve, and you look at the phonics and the etymology of the actual word, it contains Eve. Eve is an important name and a word in itself. Be light and Eve. So you know, you can break it down again if you believe. Most of what we've got is taken on trust. It's taken on second-hand information. Not a great many of us have got rockets and have gone up to the space or moon, and have got the luxury to say, looking back upon told planet, oh look, I can see everything in its clarity and simplicity now. I'll go back and tell everybody. I'll take a picture. Hello, I'm going to send a Tesla car up into space. I'll tell you what I'll do. Whilst I do that, you know, fun stunt, why not put a non-fisheye GoPro on the back and let it cast as it flies away into the vacuum of space? Now, if a man is going to believe that there's a fecking vacuum of fecking space when you see these NASA muppets on there, you know, Operation Paperclip, bringing over the Nazis over this way, making them leaders and whatever, chairman of such things as unbelievable, you wouldn't Adam and Eve it, would you? There you go, she's back again. The naked truth is so hard to believe. It's you know, the lies that they make is they're believed because they're so big. And I could go on for quite a time, you know, about all of this, but the maps, you know, Trattoria, that in itself is a truly fantastic thing to have found out about. You have to go on your own journey, and like the teachings of Thoth and Enki and the books and the Bibles and the scriptures and the, you know, the fables and the whatever you believe in and uses your moral code, ethics, compass, morality and so forth. You go on yours, I go on mine, and I have a chat about it. I don't have to justify myself to anybody. I'm not obliged to. I'm not in the full public liability position, pose or anything. So it's all good for me. If you have an issue, then I suggest you listen to somebody else and don't subscribe and fix up, look sharp. You know, we're a brotherhood, a family, and above all, and no man has the right to tell another man at all. Somebody asked me on Boxing Day for judicial advice, and I said, why would you come on YouTube on Boxing Day and ask for judicial advice? I'm not a man that's going to be here to do that, not because of public liability. I don't give advice in Boxing Day, and you're coming on YouTube. Come on, dearie me. Talk about, this is just the realm that we live in, with the desperation and folk leaving stuff till the last minute, and then obviously the shills and the trolls and the energy vampires and so forth. We're indigos, yeah, we're not idiots. Yeah, and that's where we excel, and that's why the system won't win, because without even meeting you, the art of psycho-evaluation on levels of, without, you know, it's talking about across the ether here with the connections again, then it's truly fantastic. It really is. Seeing without seeing is what they call it, yes? And to do that is to believe. And once you believe, it's like Alan Watts says, you know, there's a knowing. You don't tell your pituitary gland and your liver and your heart and all of your 12 major systems to operate on a microcellular level. You have thousands of sub-routine programs going off, if you like. And if you inspected yourself on a cellular level, just a bio level, a biological cellular level, you would get so perplexed with what's going off, it would just box your brain in. And what would happen is you'd have to just run away from it. But if you extrapolate and move yourself away from that magnetification and just go out a bit and look at the human body in its entirety and appreciate all of those chaotic systems now all working as one to create what's called harmony, then you will see that everything is down to, and I don't know how you're interpreting me. If you're looking at me through a fecking microscope, then you're never going to get nowhere. Now, if you take yourself a bit back a bit and just take off a few of the, you know, alter egos, and the ego is the first one, let me tell you, that we have to deal with, and then your presumptions and your assumptions and your expectations. I can't help it if you don't like me, you don't like what I say or how I say it. That's your, again, opinion and judgment of the things and systems and environment that are at hand to you now. So you are responsible for how you feel. Yeah, I'm responsible for how I feel about you, and notice how I treat everybody with due respect, because you are me and I am you. So even though we have these misguided ones, energy vampires, shills and trolls, The system wants us to use our energy and do what we're programmed to do to them. But what we do as indigos, light workers, rainbows and crystals is fuck shit up, motherfuckers. And we do that because, you know, we instinctively know. And like our organs and these 12 systems, we don't tell them to work. They're working for you. They're working for me. I'm not telling my heart to beat. I'm not remembering to breathe. I'm not remembering to do all of the things that are going off because it just knows to do it. And like they know to do that, we know to do this. I rest my case. Not bad, am I, for top of head? Sometimes I admit I do go on a tangent and it's rubbish. Sometimes I'm like, bosh, can't mess with that. It's true, you know, systems and everything. So looking at man and these laws and systems and going further into it deeply, you know, looking at us on a microscopic level, like the systems of man and the biological functionality would render you like, whoa, this is all just mental. These lot are proper, you know, radio rental. What is going on? And you take yourself back and put you in God's seat or somewhere up on high and look down and it sees, oh yes, the realm functioning rather well. Look at it, it's you know, everything's balanced and order, and when you look at it from the grand scheme of things, then, but we're not, we're in it, we're down on a microscopic level in the chaos. So we have to go, and that's what I'm saying again, we've managed to do that. And yeah, believing, well, believing, for don't believe the hype, don't believe the hype. That's what I was listening to when they told me. Thought, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Because I thought that's what you told me to do. What do you mean thought? You thought that's what you assumed. Assumptions and presumptions, substance over form. This is what we're saying. This is the key. You make a claim, you need to provide the burden of proof. Now, if you've made a claim and you haven't got the proof, then there is no claim. But now there's damages. So now you've damaged somebody. You've made a claim, you didn't have the proof. That's why we've learned the system, because we need to know how to hold these to account and what their system is. It's not our system. We don't like it. We don't use it. We don't endorse it. We're not licensed to, you know, we're not even able to interface with it unless we consent and, you know, agree to being the instrumentation at hand of which is the copyrighted crown name of our given name and the family clan name, which is then assembled into that construct for UCC. No, we don't think so. Yeah, we've tested that out. We won in the magistrates. We've won quite a few places. When we say won, charges discharged. Bosh. Testimonials. So we don't win. The men win and report back to us. We just give them information and make sure you're duly informed. And when you're duly informed, you're a lot better off than you are right now. If that's such a bad thing to be doing, then strike me down. I'm outside. May the creator and consciousness strike me down for doing what I'm doing. I openly give myself. Exactly. I didn't get struck down. Next. If you had empirical evidence, then you would get a Nobel Prize. We don't need evidence. The man's got evidence. There's evidence out there. It's fast as we're bringing it to you, it's being destroyed, let me tell you. Quick reminder, savages in America were ripping each other's hearts out on pyramids by the thousands and dying in plague pits whilst eating each other for food. Just saying, that's true, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a alleged part of history. I wasn't alive then, but allegedly the Malayan, and you're going back to where? Sumer, Akkad, Mesopotamia, Judea. You know, we've got 6,000 years of history that we can articulately say what we think will have gone off. But prior to that, you know, look at China. Just go and look at Chinese ancient archaeological secret history. They don't know what the feck's gone off over there, and we're talking thousands and thousands and tens of thousands. The book of you know, green emerald tablets of Thoth, allegedly made out of green emerald crystal that are atomically fixed on a subatomic molecular motherfucking level. This shit can't be broken, it can't be frozen, it can't be changed. It's the only object on this realm, allegedly. Some might say, I'm led to believe, it is the only object that cannot be changed by any form of external forces that we know to apply under the present you know, physical forces, element, periodic table and management of acids and stuff that we use. And then it's got the inscriptions of the 13 tablets. And then it tells you that these guys, you know, in the tablets of the kings, it has been found on 2 different continents at 2 different times with the same fecking story of a 250,000 year period, of which there was 12 or 13 kings of Kem and such other places that existed and lived for about 25,000 years each. I'm like, shut the front door. What? And then you've got the other tablets that tell you about the story of Star Wars that George Lucas nicks, called the Terra Papers from India and the Vedic side. I'm like, shut up, this is just too much. You've gone past the Hari Kari and the Krishna part of it and the Kundalini and the blue mandala and the Nazca lines and certain other bits. You go on a massive journey. But yeah, Nobel prizes. YouTube needs a Nobel Prize. These guys that make these, that educate man, that allow us to collect it, fragment it, put it all together and then bring it back out as an articulate, you know, random update, conversation and chat. We give peace, love and respect for it. I tell thee, proper bow. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Good evening, good morrow, Sister Noma. Evening, blah, blah, blah. Brother David, are you debuting what I say? Are you doubting what I say? See, sorry. No, I don't doubt anything. I just take it with a pinch of salt. That's what we do. Pinch of salt. Doctors can give you drugs to make you fade a certain way. Yep, man-made feelings. Yes, they can. That's right, indeed. You taking an E? No, I don't take. No, my body is a temple. Fucking no chance, pal. Yes, due diligence is the only way to go. I would say there to force. Don't judge others by your own standards. You know, takes one to know one. MMD. Yeah, who knows? It's all good. The Blue Man Group will watch out. It's your opinion. If it's nonsense, force, that's it. You know, we're not the first one to come on and say what you feel. That's fine. Give me some constructive argumentation to any of those points that I've mentioned. Do you think that history, as we've been taught it, is true? Is you telling me that science, as we know it, is true? Is you telling me that what Nikola Tesla, Eric Dollard, and John Hutchins have proposed is true? Is you telling me that the successes we've had in the judicial and legal arena with lawful remedy and articulation is a lie? Is you telling me that the testamentary paper proclamations on the bull papilles and the historical content of Dos Santos's last 30 years of work is a lie? Is you telling me you've got something articulate to come and counter me with, to come and shut this down? Otherwise, I think you need to be muted. Thank you very much. Substance over form. Arrest my case. You're not coming on tonight. It's an open chat. You can text away, but you know, man's tired, and I'm not ready for an all-out and assault on an aggressive level with somebody that I don't even know of. So thank you for the offer of you know, interaction, but another time we'll take a rain check and we'll let the temperatures and everything cool down. See, I'm clever like that, and then we'll see if you're up for an intelligent, articulate chat. And if you are, then perhaps I can learn something from you. I'm not that arrogant. Perhaps you know, we can turn it into something good. But spontaneous, random, hostile interactions on a public nature around this time in Crimbo Limbo, I'm wary of. Okay. Due diligence. This is the way. That is the way. Indeed, it is. No one should be afraid of challenging questions. That's right, especially when you go into a judicial realm, because that's all you will get. So that's the last place you want to be going, lest we not forget. These places are places of business and are places of deception, and you know, UCC, ecclesiastical, not constitutional, or places of things of which are based on honor or simplicity. They wear black, and they have a certain code and language. I do not purport anybody goes to one of these places and claims to have a set path of, you know, a way out of it. And be careful at all costs. The Admiralty. Have you got any questions? Anything else you want to ask? I will take questions. I will give you know, a chance to the chat room and the 22 viewers. Thank you very much. Prove all things, stand fast. What is good? Yeah, indeed. It's a Masonic saying. It's a Masonic concept, but understanding. The standing is the building that they're making, the fabrication out of mortar, bricks, you know, masonry, and they're building a kick-ass castle. And they get the first 2 layers built, and what they say is, come back, you know, we're going to check this out. He goes, let's go downstairs and check out the foundation. We're going to the dungeon. What are we going to the dungeon for? We're going to the dungeon to check out this foundation. They go to the dungeon and they have a look, and they stand under the building, which is called a standing back then. So they are under the standing, and they are checking, as architects and engineers and designers and builders, the integrity of the foundation, the building blocks of that, you know, castle to be that complex of luxurious, megalithic, probably, you know, even size. And once you've done that, you go back up to the top, and now you can carry on and know the limits and sizes, and you know, paraphrasing highly, because I don't build castles and I'm not a mason. Trying to simply put it is, they now have an understanding of that standing. So yes, this is what we do. We inspect, and when you've got ADHD and OCD and certain other things, then when you inspect, you make sure you get your shit right, because when you don't, it really annoys you. And when you need to repeat it, you know, randomly from the mind, then there is a chance you will make an error, grammatical, date, abbreviation. It's not easy, and yeah, you're doing it to help others and you get shot down. So I understand why you don't do it. You see, these ones that want to come up and speak, you'd have your own channel and you'd be doing this, and you'd have your own following and your own viewers, and you'd have your own platform and your own website and your own Facebook, and you'd have your own little place to get your energy from. But yeah, it's you know, we're outside now. I'm casting a net, and you have been caught in my net. So, you know, whether we like it or not, we're doing certain things. I'm actually sinning now because, you know, of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, not connected to the source in nature. Blessings all. Yes, chef. Alan, easy. Yeah, laughing at Muller. 33 degree, they tell you what God is. He show them a mirror. Indeedy. The fact is, I understand that you may think I am being contrary, but I come with peace. Let me on for 5 minutes. We can do. Email david@splspro.com and put in the subject, please, hangout. Anybody that would like to come on and have a chat or have a hangout, as always, you just give me an email. Thank you for all the emails that I've received. If you are waiting for a reply from me, I have been inundated with them, and I am about, yeah, I've just set them up to date. There may be 2 that I need to deal with. None are your 1. When I say up to date, that's how up to date I am dealing with tomorrow. So yeah, I've answered everything. So yeah, please continue to email and contact me. You will have to wait a wee bit, you know. I'm sorry about that, but just until we build everything up, we're doing the best we can. And yeah, david@splspro.com, and we'll link up and have a hangout. Yeah, no problem, but not tonight. Your name's not down. You're not coming in. 1993, Kicks Like a Mule, The Bouncer. If you search that track, I dedicate that to you out of respect and peace and love. Then Force. Look at that, I'm just a weirdo, see? That's why I remember Law, because I can just remember rave tracks like that at the drop of a hat. I haven't played for over 25 years. That just go bing. And I'm like, why did the consciousness give me this weird ability? I didn't ask for it. I'm 40 years of fecking age. Yeah, I haven't started to slow down. I'm getting worried. I don't want to have a heart attack at 50. I've got to enjoy my, you know, pursuit of happiness and get my unbondage done. And if I have to somehow sacrifice a part of my life to unbond myself, but share with the knowledge of man and brotherhood around and alike that I'm trying to unbond and how we're doing it, namely because, you know, it's just right and proper, and I like to chat, and I think there's enough people on YouTube chatting about stuff that's just clearly mixed up. And yeah, it's a good little mission to be on, but it's called a sacred covenant. We've all got a covenant, whether we like it or not. When we looked in the history, and we've had a look at the comparisons of the history and the contents and the Bibles and the realms and the religion, these covenants are quite interesting. And when you realize that you are connected and nobody's isolated and we are all related, and instead of finding our fecking differences and arguing over our differences, if we just get together like what we've said, and we've said that initially this idea and this concept, you've got a brother called RIP Napoleon Hill, and it was his conceptualization of the master brain that made me think, actually, we need to have a master brain and we need to have a chat about this and find out what our similarities are. And when we find out what our similarities are, that's how we'll beat this stronghold that seems to be killing us by death via 1,000 paper cuts, if you excuse the expression. And I've got everybody walking around as the living dead in a legal realm. And in this great book of theirs, in this Christian fecking nation, it says not that, but the end times man will be deceived and the dead will walk the earth. Well, when we translated and decoded that, I nearly shied sideways. I went, oh dear. Oh dearie me, oh dearie me, this book's a prediction of things to come, and these things to come seem to be here now. Oh dear, oh, we're not loons, no, we just need to let man know that we think there might be a problem, and we've been hoodwinked, you know. And when you hoodwink somebody out there and they find out about it, you normally sue the asses. You know, when the homeless start dying on the street, when they've got a reserve account with millions in it, that matured, the bond matured at the age of 30 years, and when you've got a license certificate that's floated on the stock market and you're using that to get evidences and make IDs, every one of them IDs will have a financial bond to it. So that would denote driver's license, passports and birth certificates that come from brother Steve McRae. I don't steal shit or pretend to find it out and use it to my own advantage. And when I went, what do you mean, Steve? Birth certificates, driving license, passports and so forth are all monetary instruments, and but not instruments, but got value to them because they've originated from that. Oh, okay, then what the hell? Then we went on that path and had a look at that, and I went, so the trading souls with certificates, for one, all dressed in black from this time gone far, and they've made us all to assume some kind of living dead entity when we're all clearly alive and nobody is dead. Nothing is dead. It's the world of the black Sabbath, the black cube, the black Saturn, the black robe, the black law. Go and look at the tribes of people and the mans that were called the Magi, the Magian. It's that come from Santos, when Santos was on about the Medici, and the oh man, it goes back. There's so many family names and continents and years and that. That's what I mean. Yeah, we do our due diligence, and words that begin with magician, magistrate, you know, medicine, medieval, and AU words. Santos said it in a 3-hour hangout that we had. It is very easy to decode in the English language because they almost give you the clues there. Cul de sac, dead end de sac, of sac. Dead of sac, something to do with the stomach, the sacs of the stomach, you know. It's all there. The CQV, set KV, whatever you want to see it, however you say it, I don't care. The 1666 act that bonded man after 7 years and salvaged you means nothing, means naught to us, you know. It didn't happen. Yeah, it might have in your world, but we're not in your world. But they have an army, they have a force, so you have to comply. Now I need a lighter. So yes, we're in a bit of a tight spot, because if you don't know how not to comply and to stop being so obedient and rolling over, then there's a problem, because you'll end up paying for it. We'll end up paying for it. Your children will end up paying for it. When they're not children, they're assets. So yeah, and the assets start paying for it, and you start losing your privileges and rights because you've submitted them. So there we go back to the signature. Doesn't matter about the date of birth. If you sign something, okay, it's because somebody doesn't trust you. Now there's that word again, trust, and that's why we deal in trust. Now that's why it's important. It's easy when you know it inside out, back to front, left, right, and center. So you need a signature. I want you to sign something because we've got an agreement or a contract, yeah, and we need to sign for it because I don't trust you, basically. I know where you live, you know, and certain things like that, but we've made a deal, but you're gonna have to sign for it. So the fact you're signing for it means that if we've agreed, both of us, it's a contract. If I've agreed and I'm asking you to sign it, then that's an agreement. So that's how you deem that. How many signatures are on that? What I've given you? One, yours, because you've agreed to my terms and you've signed it. If both of our signatures are on there, then both of our words are on that constructed body of words, which would be an agreement, now a contract. So therefore, we've both constructed it, we've both signed it. It's a contract. I construct it, you construct it, and you give it me or I give it you, then it's an agreement. So that agreement, tenancy agreement, credit agreement, loan agreement, and agreements such as, you know, that signature is your equitable assets. And if you've got an equitable asset and you don't know it's an equitable asset and you think it's you who own that signature and are that signature, then you're in deep trouble, because that's what you use to sign when someone doesn't trust you. Now, why would you sign when someone doesn't trust you? What does the signature do for anything? What good is it? You know, how does it fix anything? What guarantee does it have of any kind? Oh, well, it's in the legal realm. And in the legal realm, when you sign for something, it's legal. Oh, legal. Okay, and what happens then? Well, it might give them access to something. Access to what? Consent, contract. Well, it's not a contract, it's an agreement. Everything's happening here. You don't know who you are, what you're doing. Do you honestly think the rest of it's real? Do you honestly think they've got any due partiality and honorability to tell you the truth? This is not the same government that have a 50-year fucking rule where they think you're so retarded and thick and incapable of handling any kind of semblance of fucking reality. They wait 50 years and then they give you the redacted fucking truth and expect you to suck it up and love it and be grateful for it. And 50 years later, you find out a quarter of what they really actually did. Yes, this is what we're at. Yeah, that's where we are. The stations and the commanders and the ones that are running it and have got bloodlines to it and so forth. David Icke has pointed out the Rockefeller Foundation and what they have actually done is enough to make man sick, let alone what the, you know, others have pointed out. And Jordan Maxwell is just, if you go and watch him and Santos, come back to me and start, then, you know, it's what you take of it and what you research from it and what you find out. And when Jeremita talks about gematria, that's when I said to Stowe Villa, Elohim Ra, I was like, brother, I didn't know about this, and this is incredible. And I found him on Facebook and had a chat. I says, we need to chat soon. Let me get my head around all of this. Marty Leeds, as I showed you, it's incredible. It really is. It's very, very deep, and there's spells and there's demons and it's casting. And when you get out into the light and you're honourable, then that's it. That's all you can do. It's better to burn out than fade away. Better to burn out indeed. .33 degrees, yeah, that's in the spine. That's an important part of the atom, alpha and omega. Yes, it's very deep, that, but the 33 number, yeah, that's synchronized into. That must be some good weed, dude. How would you know? You'll never know. Sorry, David, being away from keyboard. I'm in a crap mood. I'm sorry to hear that, MG. Anything we can do? Crappy jokes, dad jokes, comedic sketches. I know it's late, I'm getting off soon, but yeah, sorry to hear that. May your vibration and mood pick up forthwith. May my heart stop if I should lie to you or any good soul, unfettered mind. Knowingly lie, yeah, that's it. Hale and Pace, Hale and Pace, the management. Justinian Deception, yeah, that's another good recommendation, Snafu. You search Damaged Awakening. Hope you are too. Though we are, yeah, usurped indeed. The tree of knowledge, the tree of life. We've been to the tree of knowledge. Look at this 5G, quantum, AI, Mon-I, Mon-I, money. This is a nice phonetic that I recently come across. Lifting the veil again. One of his videos, recent ones. Mon means one, as in monatomic, monosaturate. Yes, Mon, monarch. Archons, yeah, Mons, monarchs, and Mon is one, and then you've got I, money, Mon-I, and I was like, oh, I, Captain. We're not savvy using this chat, replying escapes me. Nice one, Jamie, well done for trying, thank you very much, you've got through, it's well appreciated, thanks for joining in. Hello, Chain Gang. Interfaith Vegan Alliance. I will have a look at your channels, new subscribers, thank you, and I will be looking later at what you do and how you do it. I've come on at this time to see who the night owls are, because you are a different breed, you are a different kettle of fish. I am a night owl. I have to conform and get up at early 12 o'clock, so I am involved in commercial intercourse, using my instrumentation in private realms, you know, Monday to Friday. But I am a spirit of the night, let me tell you. So I appreciate the intellect that comes on at night, and I do these casts at this time, namely Idiot O'Clock, because I'm interested in your feedback, in your consciousness. The fact that you don't sleep at a normal time like everybody else is one that makes you stick out straight away. That's your one rebel to society and conformity and things like that. And the fact that you are listening and replying and chatting means that you're above others straight away. You've gone above the you know, the realm, because others are watching box sets on such other, you know, online outlets, and drinking and sniffing cocaine, smoking too much weed. Yes, correct. I am outside and I am smoking. What and how is none of your business concern, or neither does it matter. But may I just add that the ones that smoke weed that are made bad, and oh yes, they smoke weed and it stinks and it's terrible, and yes, it's once you've had weed, you sooner end up on cocaine and crack, and next thing you know, you're beating up grandmas and robbing old persons' homes, and you know, it's a terrible, terrible line. And you know, God Lord, it just started with a joint. If only he hadn't have had that joint, his life would have been saved. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. You think that smoking a joint's going to ruin someone's life, and what's going off in 2018? And you look at when somebody has a drink and what an addiction really does, because chemically, yes, a substance is classed as a drug when it's an addictive substance. Now, marijuana compounds and tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and such things such as are being heralded for saving things such as Parkinson's and fucking cancer from this plant that they've kept away and stigmatized and said, oh yes, Wolfie, Citizen Smith, Cheech and Chong motherfuckers. Yeah, oh, what they've done there is a grand old, you know, Duke of York fucking regime on that one, when it turns out that it's not actually a fucking drug, it's a substance. You can't overdose by munching or smoking or ingesting cannabis, sativa or indica oils, generation, legacy, seeds and plants. Never mind this bullshit that they've got now mixed up with the moon rock bogey fucking stinky ass business going. So we move on to alcohol now, and all of the things that are the ship of alcohol, which is a drug, because you can have a mortality from this substance, okay? okay? So lest we not forget what we are doing here and what we are licensing on every street corner that ends lives because you can die from it. Yeah, but you can't smoke a joint now because you'll end up, you'll end up on a bad road, you'll end up in a real lot of trouble, and you'll end up making an embarrassment for the whole family. The name and the Joneses. Christ, think about it, will you please? That shit in the bin. Oh my God, I'm going for a bottle of wine. And that's how it goes, and that's what ruins society. This kind of complex and this kind of thinking, this kind of decompartmentalization. That's right, it's got added an extra bit in there because that's what they do. They mess it all up. And alcohol has and is ruining lives. Let's face it, you're 2 years of fucking age when your mum gives you sugar. That's a drug, because if you have too much sugar, it will kill you. So there you go. Lest we not forget the United Kingdom's water supply is full of fucking drugs that nobody has to be in there, but they're there, right? The water is poisonous. Fact. I've tested it. I've done my own independent tests, so I've got proof of claim. And if you see my video catalogue, you'll see some of the tests, not all. I'm disgusted with it. Absolutely disgusted. They may as well have just left the pipes as lead and been blatant about it and says, well, I'm sorry, you're all retarded and got all these abnormalities and stuff, but you are drinking from lead pipes, smoking carcinogenic cigarettes, eating all these transgenic fatty nuclei, monosodium diglycerates of God knows what, animal products, gelatin shit. You will get fat and ill and everything. Yes, don't you know what you're eating? Didn't anybody tell you? No. What do you mean you thought it was good? Didn't you do your research? No. We thought dairy was good, and this is good, and everything's fine, and everybody cares, and everybody tells you on the ingredients if it's bad or not. You wouldn't put bad things in food, would you? When you buy a dead animal, you expect it to be a dead animal. You don't expect to buy a product that's labeled as chicken burgers and find out it's made of plastic and bread and has only 2% chicken. No, that was a surprise. Yes, we didn't expect that. But when Charlie couldn't shit for 3 weeks, we soon worked out that the value chicken nuggets we were buying was the root cause of the problem. Ah, yes, well, you will find that, like anything in life, you get what you fucking pay for. And when you get something that's free, like Facebook, look what they do. I'm sorry, Facebook, but you did it, and I can put it on the claim of the network and still stand on it, and I can prove it in a court of law. So I will continue to proceed, Facebook, Zuckerberg, and all the other corporate freebies out there offering networking services honorably. Honestly, we promise we won't take your data, we won't bum you, we won't use it against you and make a mind control machine and say that you need it and you can talk to it using your mind and it won't steal your thoughts or anything. No, we're not onto secret DARPA suppressed technology. No, we've got rubbish technology. We're never anywhere near that level. No, we can't even fix cancer. And this is man in California accidentally fixed it with cannabis oil, it seems, this fellow and others, and yes, we can't control it now. Even the silver water's getting out. God Lord, what are we gonna do, fam? What are we gonna do? Can't beat the system, go with the flow. Top Buzz 1991, the Eclipse Club, Coventry. That's what I say. Let me take a breath. Good evening, new subscribers, new viewers. If you just walked in on that, poor you, hello. The Great Tao existed before the yin and yang. Well, nice one. Nice bit of history indeed. Balance, the Tao. Is that how you say it? Yes. David, I don't trust you until you pass across my palm cheese on toast and a cup of coffee. Didn't I do that at the Sobfest at the seminar? Weren't you one of those at the seminar, Snafu? If I remember you rightly, out of all these subscribers, I do believe you was at the Sobfest. I sorted you right out, my son. Sorted you right out. Surname, the thing that cometh from below, or something like that, at Snafu. Yes, Nama. The cognomen of Rome, the surname, the annexing of the Romanness of the cognomen. So if you go to Glossa Romilly and search that, or yeah, indeed it is. Surname. family name. Yeah, it used to be, you know, births, marriages and deaths used to be recorded in the family Bible, lest we not forget. Houses used to have a book in them, you know, and it was a family Bible that recorded all of this. And slowly it's got moved into government departments. And like I said on the other one with Margaret Thatcher and the privatisation and what happened back then in the day, and the shifting of, you know, and how these integrated agents came in. There wasn't always agents, like there wasn't always government and Westminster and the Crown. We had Eterni Regis and Romanus Pontifex. Go and search that, fam. Eterni Regis, 1530 something is it, and Romanus Pontifex. You've got 1402 Convocation. Yeah, these are important things that they've done to say that that's how things are going to be, but whether or not we allow that is another thing. People that are now men with armor, an awareness of language, an awareness of status, an awareness of liability, an awareness of signature, an awareness of an autograph, of awareness of how to sign without liability, of awareness of the trust and how to correct it and express that verbally. You're powered up, you're armed to the back teeth. You don't know what you know until you get pressured, and it will just come out. And trust me, when it just comes out and you haven't got a script in front of you, and you put in that due diligence and research, and you've listened to me babble on, and you've interacted and written stuff down, by writing something down, it burns it into your brain. By me typing out documents means that it burns it into my brain a lot faster. When you've repeated something 7 to 15 times, it becomes a habit. And it becomes a habit, and you repeat it a few more times, after about 30 or 40, it becomes like second nature. If it becomes like second nature, you know, it's that kind of context that you need to just keep having the faith with. And then should anything ever come down on you or your family or your assets and try to, you know, oh, what dare I say it? Yes, we've come to take goods. Have you now? You've come to take goods, have you? Okay, right. Okay, you know, and this is it. You'll be all right. You won't need to think, oh, I need to ring Big John or Big Andy or this, that, the other. It's you know, you get these notices through the door and these summonses or whatever they are. It's, you'll know now what they are and how to deal with it, and that it doesn't always get you in the right realm. That you have to have the faith, or just suck it up and do what you should do normally, what you think, and see what happens. You know, you have got your own choice. You have the free will, and that's what this system relies upon: fear and free will. And like Master Yoda said, yes, the Terror Papers, George Lucas, that's why Master Yoda says this shit. It was important. I did like Star Wars for the right reasons, but this right reason was that George Lucas stole it from a fucking thing that happened in the galaxy millennia ago. What? I know. More to be researched, but highly probable. Search the Baltic Sea relic. Go now and look at the Baltic Sea relic and tell me that that is not the feckin' what? Millennium Falcon. Look at that. Go, please. I will wait for you. Just like when I said, Google and image the Miami Federal Courthouse. It's shaped like a fucking boat. Yeah, there's a Millennium Falcon crashed through a fucking mountain, sliced it in two in the Baltic Sea. It's been there for thousands of years, and no government will go near it and touch it like thousands of other things. But yet it's just a rock formation. It's just cannonly looking, you know, like a spaceship under the sea. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yes, fear and hate. And that's how the system works, and the vibration and the frequency and the grid and the network, and what Michael Tellinger says, and the money and the energy and the spells and the occult and the dark side and the etymology. And yes, lifting the veil, Santos. Thank you very much, Glomley, Romley and Glosser. Between this lot now and then the indigos and rainbows further tweak it, and we keep all working it. The truth will out. When the truth comes out, it's scarier than the lie. It's scarier than saying, yes, that man burnt them people in them ovens. Yes, he burnt them all. It's scarier than when we made the atomic bomb and they said, well, no, we're not going to the desert to press this. We've made it, but we don't really want to use it until, you know, absolutely necessary. And the president went, no, we need to know if it works. And he said, but there's a slight problem with that. And he went, what's that? And they said, well, if it does work, and we do, you know, have created the atomic bomb, there's a slight chance that every other atom in the atmosphere may start a chain reaction and the whole of the realm will ignite. And the president went, say that again. And he went, yes, well, we scientists believe, well, about half of us reckon that if we do split the atom, there is a slight chance that the actual paradox of it is that it will start a chain reaction with all the surrounding atoms of the atmosphere, and thus the whole realm will be extinguished in an atomic explosion of fire and death. And the president went, no worries, we'll make that decision on behalf of all of the peoples of the realm. We're carrying on. And for that reason, only half of the scientists went to the atomic experiment. Shit like that makes you think, what? And when you get documents released 50 years later telling you stuff that have got bits redacted, you can find that out. You can find stuff out. And you're like, yes, scientists, health, technology, law, debt slaves, money, men in tents, Christmas with no money because universal credit didn't pay out because you submitted, and you know, there's nothing else to do though. What do you do when you're on your arse? You got no mates, you haven't got any bank savings, assets. Man submits, turn up the sound system. We just need to know how. You need to know what you need to know. I can't tell you what you need to know. I know what I needed to know. And I went out and tried to find what I needed to know. How to get access to my assets, my children. So that's how I found out about it, because I wasn't on my arse and I wasn't desperate. I wasn't a drug dealer. I wasn't a criminal. I wasn't in prison. I wasn't any kind of negative, is what I'm saying, area. And I wasn't trying to gain anything other than access to property that I've seen as rightfully mine. And because I'd fell out with the mum and we split up, doesn't mean to say that I can't go and see my kids because somebody makes a claim. Then the dad has to jump through all the legal hoops, and that's where it got onto the ball with me. And then when somebody says, hello, your ship's in the wrong shipping lane, and you've been in this lane at this time, and you need to pay this money. I went, shut up, I'm new to this town, I don't know where I'm going, I'm no criminal. I challenge your claim. I shouldn't have challenged it. I should have conditionally accepted it, stayed in honour, and not used the three-letter conditional process that had mixed jurisdictions of private and public law remedy contained on one document, thus nullifying the document. I made a great many mistakes then because I listened to Facebook and I listened to YouTube at the time. Now it's 2-3 years later, and we've advanced leaps and bounds, and we've shared everything with you. Got nothing but honour and clean hands, and this system has been exposed to its fullest, and it's being continued to be exposed left, right, and centre daily by not YouTube, but by the news stories coming out all over, the natural media stories that are coming out. They're just incredible stories that we're seeing. It isn't a play, because people burning in Grenfell, as we know, aren't, you know, fictitious. That's man's assets, man's blood, souls have gone, you know, disasters, collisions, failures, drones in Gatwick, when we've got such technology as the Boston Dynamics that I showed you on that other hangout. It's they need to be held accountable, and because nobody can hold anybody to account or even knows who they are, they're pretty much running the things, running amok. Got the guy in the big house with all the gold and the certificates and the papal bull papilles, and you've got the guys over there with the phallic columns from Egypt denoting their power in Washington, London, and the Vatican. And then you've got the Jesuits and the cardinals and the whatevers and the whoever's, and about 20 different factions all fighting amongst each other secretly through conglomerate corporations, empires, stocks and mergers and bonds and secret languages, corporations, naming and symbols and stupid bloody, oh my days, it just, you know, stones and things being dragged from Scotland and Egypt, coming from you know, where it did over to Scotland, and what the hell. It's just not even funny, you know, and you tell me that you think you've been told the truth. It's just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I had the great pleasure in telling our Yanker that the true Santa Claus is called the Santa Claustra, and it comes from in the brain, and it's part of the pineal gland, and it sits in there, is in the tearage of the brain. And I said, and if you look at it, you'll find out. I said, you need to look at St. Nicholas and where St. Nicholas come from and why he was green, and Santa Claus and St. Nicholas and certain storylines. I said they come from different countries. I said, and it isn't our story, it's a story that was made up. And I said, and you're at the age now where I don't want you to go to school and be, you know, ridiculed for thinking that this man is real. I said, much like the tooth fairy, my love, they are things that your mum tells you that are lies, but we tell you lies to be kind to you. I said, but I don't agree with telling lies to be kind to children or assets, you know, as she is. And so I say, I will tell you the truth always. And if it's not nice truth, I will tell you in a nice way so it doesn't scare you. But I will tell you always, you know, the world is a bit crazy. The English language that you are learning is equally crazy due to its frontal adjectives, pronouns, verbs, and certain other bits that we're going through on a great level. Again, you know, microscope to something. It's very, very confusing looking at it from a greater level. Shows you the intellect of the legal intertwinement and the Latin and the French to the Anglo-Babel, which has made it so kind of enigmatic in its own construction, let alone the alphabet and the gematria and the, you know, the yeah, phonetical, numeral and phonetical connections to it. Having to translate it and use it as a second language is quite a feat, let me tell you. She asked me questions and I'm like, actually, I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. It really is truly unique. Truly unique. We're going soon. I've had enough, and I'll read your comments and say thank you. You get the point. Thank you to the 15 midnight owls. Bless you. Mission accomplished. Let's turn up this brightness. Have you published your tests on water? Yeah, they're on video. The video evidence is on this channel. So that's published. Testamentary, yeah, you've got testamentary. My word is my bond. That's all you need to know. If you need any more, then you're on the wrong channel, pal. On the wrong channel. Check out, I'm Keith Man, and I cured cancer at home. Nice one. Interfaith vegan with Jamie Weed. Over a barrel, we reside with my sister. She's been my dealer from the past few years. Bit buggered at the moment, as annoying dilemma, not able to move out. Oh, so much love to. Oh, bless. Humorous joke there, I'm sure. Hoo. I was saying the Western mind is very coarse. Yeah, it is. It is important that others know what that you know. It is important. That's why I've done 300 and something videos. Again, how many minutes of my finite time, how many of my heartbeats have been donated to make them videos? I didn't have to do it. I'm not obligated to do it, but it was done. It's there for you to go and look at right now and laugh at, put nasty comments on or whatever you want. Maybe learn from it. Who knows? It's your choice, your free will. Grow valerian in your garden will prime you for sleep. Also grow with hops and chamomile, chamomile. For laser teachers. All right. Thank you very much for that, Inner Faith. Thank you, Jerry. Snuffoo. Thank you all. There's loads here. Brilliant. I'm overloaded with it. Look at you guys go. I like your interaction. You're very polite, respectful, courteous. You know, just brilliant. Thank you. I'm honoured to have you as subscribers, family, brothers, sisters. You know, all of it. Skulled encoded with pi 22. But go on, Jamie. Go on. I love numbers. It's our 3rd anniversary today, and I've done my number crunching with Anne-Marie, my queen, bless her. Square root. Caught up. We're good. We are good, fam. Have weaponised cancer. Indeed, they have. They weaponise everything, fam, and then they give it us after. Microwaves are weaponised. It's weaponised technology. Microwaves kill the food. They kill vitamins in food. If you cook, next time you use a microwave, before you press that door open and put your hand in immediately after the bing, I suggest you press that door open. I suggest you don't use a microwave as little as possible from now on. But those that do, including me, rare times in emergencies and certain things, I do. You press that button and open the door and let it just settle for 30 seconds, a minute. Then put your hand in when them little ionized microwave things have settled down, and then go and proceed to eat the dead food that the microwave has now rendered dead because it's rubbed the food at an atomic level to heat it up, thus killing everything inside. Lest we not forget broccoli and the fact it's an unfinished vegetable, leaves God knows what inside you. Genetically modified food, once the body's had, re-renders the body's RDA, unable to correctly rewrite the DNA, and gives you cancer just by eating Monsanto Terminator seed type, genetically modified, Pfizer chemical sprayed. And these are just some of them. Cargill is another one, grown in the 3rd world countries that are just like, what the hell are we doing here? What are we doing? It's all backwards. It's wrong. It really is. I ain't got all the proof for that. These aren't claims I'm making. These are just what I've seen on other documentaries on YouTube that we're collecting evidence for. Because once one man makes a claim, if man is to make a claim, you need the proof to back it up. And I know that more than anything, which is why I'm very careful of how we claim and what we say. But that's in the legal realm. In the lawful realm, man's got a right to exist and speak and be. In the ecclesiastical realm, they've got the control of that, the church. The crown have got the control of the legal, and man will always have control of the lawful. And the lawful, which is the common law, so to speak, as well, is being taken away. Now, whether you look at that with there is, in fact, in my eyes, a civil war at hand in this landmass, this Britain, I am, Britain, Britannia, Anglo, England landmass, because the fact that Brexit is happening still in March, in 3 months, 12 weeks time, and they've not even got a plan if this one doesn't work. And all of the Britons and the Anglos and the Welsh and the Irish and the Scottish are thinking, well, who's gonna sort shit out then when these fucking idiots that have had all this time to sort it out and make plans have just fought each other and legged it and resigned. So the most important negotiations since the end of the Second World War, and what have we done? And where are we going? Where are we going? Who's taking us there? Who's going to save us? What's going to happen? Where's the contingency plan? Why are we stockpiling medicines and panicking? Why are we stockpiling at all? Why are they doing? They're already planning on a failure, and the fact that they're putting on the news that they're stockpiling medicine and asthma and all these things that have got a short shelf life, and they're trying to scaremonger the middle class. Once they've scaremongered the middle class, then they have power in high numbers to move in legislation, emergency legislation, restrictive legislation once again. And here comes the next wave of the 4th industrial revolution. Hello, everyone. Now that's why the sovereigns are here, and we do these casts and videos, and we give a shit because we have a conscience, and this machine, it never sleeps. It doesn't sleep a second. Matthew in Sheffield saw a car being clamped earlier today. You know, the Crimbo Limbo week, and man's out clamping. The agents are out, you know. That's what I mean. They're coming for you, a door to you. That's why I'm going live on Sun and Moon on Sunday. I'll take the questions and we'll do this on a different platform on a different level, and we'll see. Come shoot me down. You are invited accordingly, you know. So peace and love. That's all I can say. We were put here to do things. I used to mix music. Now we mix law. Judge Jules, you want a back-to-back set? That would be an interesting mix, would it not? Dear Jim, can you fix it for me in the afterlife of your... Oh, God, Lord, eh? Good, I can't believe I actually looked at that show and thought, I'd love to go on Jim Will Fix It. Oh, and he's such a lovely man. I'd love to go on Jim. And look at it. Look at the sickness of all that, the sickness of it. I looked at that show. G-Star, I remember the chat with you. I'll keep it private. But yeah, yes, incredible, incredible, but not surprising. You know, that's just one thing. That's just one thing. Sorry, we didn't know that that drug would cause that effect. We're so sorry about that. We didn't mean it. It's like we're a bloody testing ground and we put up with it. We put up with it for so long. We've had blood, we've fought battles over this landmass, over this language, over the principality of rights and honourability. And here we are now, just letting it all go to the dogs. Willful obedience. Willful. Totally. Not by you lot, but, you know, en masse. No, I haven't seen a Ukrainian lad playing with microwaves, but I will have later. Thank you very much, MG. Alkaline base, yeah. Alkaline base, lemons. We've talked about this. Distilled water, what it does when you take silver water, what happens when you take the electricity and put that through it. There's so many, couple of volts and stuff onto your glands. Court case on 5G in Newcastle, really, is there? Okay, Snafu. I went on, Jim up, shut up. Oh, okay. That's an interesting username. Just as I'm ending the show anyway, 17 of the Famalan. Have you got anything else you want to say or ask? Now is the time, because I think we've said I've updated accordingly, offloaded. I've smoked the world's longest cigarette, yes. And he was rolling backy. And use a king size filter, they do last a while. Take tiny little breaths. I need to give up the devil's machine. Anything to say? How are you? Anybody that's just popped in, then I'm going. Yeah, up to number first. I see you are a shill. Troll in the house. Number significance. All right, we've got an auto created account. You get this when you tell the truth too much, and when you go out there as a good soul. So beware of what is going to come from that user. Spanners you can delete, and he will pop back up without a doubt. See, that's another thing YouTube allow, right? If I owned YouTube and I was the set law creator, chief executive officer in charge of this corporation of YouTube, then if I got complaints given to me in my corporate division of complaints, and there was a complaint policy, and it was that there was shills and trolls, suspected paedophiles, etc., operating on the network, and it's your network, and you've got a responsibility, pal, to sort it out and get these unconscionable evil users off the network of yours that you operate, and that we're currently submitting our rights to be users of. And they have got a duty of care to sort that out, such as Facebook and the other ones, with what happens and hacked accounts and the nastiness of it. They say that they're acting and that they're doing stuff, but you have to prove yourself to an element of certain extent as well, where your word is not your bond and nothing is given as believed and and the liability that these have, such as the Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica and everything else that gets caught out and read out and breached and sold, and wow, it's just truly incredible. But yet nothing gets done because nobody knows how to hold anybody to account, because nobody, not you lot, but generally, and this is where we're at. It's truly incredible. It really is truly incredible. And they say it's not, it's not meant to be like this. Was the cow blindfolded? Well said. Court case on fracking in London. Yeah, you could do stuff in the court. You could use it to get, moved up. I'm not saying they're honourable and it's right, but if you give it a good enough shot and you get lucky enough, then you could get sort of heard. The Old Bailey used to be in the news a lot when I was a nipper. The Old Bailey, everybody was in there. The Birmingham Six and the guys from the such and such prison that had done stuff, and back in there again, and the rapists and the paedophiles and what was going off, and the murders and the hackers and the killers. There's quite a lot going off in the 80s from what I was remembering, the early 90s, and just sick shit, namely, as well as Northern Ireland being blown up left, right, and centre in the name of peace and against Westminster and Catholics and Protestants, and again, ones that read Bibles and bibliotexts of the Lord and the manuscripts of end up going out there and creating bloodbaths. It's truly unique. It really is. Poor people of Palestine are stuck there with no identity, no passport, and no way out. Nobody's caring, but yet it's Christmas, and they're in the land of Christmas. Check Ian R. Crane out. I might do Snafu. I've heard about him a few times. The cow kicked Nelly in the belly on the farm. I heard the same. Rumours are fly like flies. Yes. Right then, thank you very much, everybody. Peace and love. Ciao bello. Good night. Bless.